going on, guys? It's your boy Evan, and you know I'm always up to no good. So today I'm super excited because we got the catch can that I bought off eBay for the SRT8. Now, fortunately, I was kind of upset that they didn't actually include some hoses for it, and some hose clamps or the bolt for this on the bottom to be bolted onto the top of the block, as you may call it. So the catch can is here. Looks actually pretty nice. I got the silver one. I was going to get the black one, but I said let me get the silver one because I don't want it to be all blacked out, the catch can, and blend in too well. So I said let me get the silver one. I think it'll look better. Nice design. The only thing that I didn't like is that they don't have the hoses included, but not a big deal. I have hoses in the closet behind that I have, so we could find a nice size. Hook it up. Should be simple install. Anybody who has definitely use a catch can. Prevents any oil from going down into the intake manifold. Definitely helps. Will not hurt the motor. For anybody who wants to know about them, just Google it. You'll find like an explanation on to what they do exactly. Definitely a good investment. I have them on all my cars, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this in and show you guys how to do it. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do is remove this hose here and remove it from down here where the PVC valve is. There's a valve here, so basically, you got air coming in, you got fresh air also going into this side of the valve cover, and then pushes everything into the PVC down into the so you basically get a mixture of basically air and oil going into the system. So we're trying to eliminate that by putting a catch can to catch the oil and filter out everything. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this first. So let's see, this is gonna probably be stuck on here, or feels hard to hose. So how the hell are we gonna do this now? Alright guys, so I ended up pulling the truck outside, so this way you guys can get a better idea and a better eyes view of what I'm doing. So I basically removed the air intake tube here in the front, which was getting in the way. So we're going to go ahead and remove this hose. Hopefully it comes off. There you go. Now we're going to use a flathead screwdriver and just gently pry on the hose. Oh, it came off easy. Nice. So what I'm going to do is definitely clean the PVC valve. Now there's no need to really do it, but I'm just gonna go ahead, since I'm gonna install a new catch can, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this PVC valve, clean it out, make sure it's functioning right. If it's not working, definitely get a replacement one. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it out, put it back in, and then install the rest of the catch can with the fittings and hose attachments. Alright guys, so I went ahead and off camera I cleaned the PVC valve, put a little bit of dielectrical grease to help me slide the hoses on better, and I got the catch can here. Now I did put my own hoses on there. It does come with hoses that I have here that I found on the bottom of the box, which I was kind of stupid of me to say that there was no hoses included when they were actually sitting on the bottom of that cardboard covering that you want to use when you ship parts out in the box. So I found this in the bottom of the box, so I put it in here. I have my own hoses, so we're going to use that instead. I'm going to keep that in the garage, but got the hose here which is going to go down here, and the other one's going to go on top. So we're going to go ahead and mount it and slide the hoses on and put everything back together. Alright guys, so I'm going to end up using the hardware that's included because it's got this bend here for this area down here where the PVC valve goes. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to do that. Alright guys, as you guys can tell, I ended up using the line, the hose line that came with the kit. It looks absolutely amazing. Looks 10 times better than using regular hose. Got that 90-degree bend on that PVC valve. The PVC valve was just clean. Cleaned it out. Made sure the valve opens and closes. Blew some air into it. Cleaned it. Nice and working. I also put some thread sealant on both sides of this so that it doesn't leak. And also on the bottom bolt, you can use it as a drain. If you put a valve on the bottom of the hose, you can actually use that bolt to drain fluid, you know, the oil fluid. But I ended up putting thread sealant here because I'm just going to be turning the catch can this way and emptying the fluid. That's why I know what's in the actual barrel. So that's pretty much it. We're just gonna put everything back together, and hopefully everything's running right. And then we'll see at every oil change how much oil is being dumped into the catch can. But overall, I think everything went pretty well. Pretty happy with how it went. Yeah, that was perfect. There we go. Perfect. Alright guys, so we installed it. Got the new hose line on there. I decided to use the one from the kit. Same thing on this side as well. Put some thread sealant on both these fittings here. Also on the bottom of the bolt as well. Pretty much everything is in. All the connections are in. Everything's put back together. So hopefully after, I think the manual says, or the directions say after every 5,000 miles or every oil change, should have some form of oil in here. So that's a good thing. We don't have oil going into the intake manifold down into the motor. And that's pretty much it. I'm pretty happy. Just one more thing before I forget is this line right here. And yeah, we're pretty much set. Pretty happy. So yeah. What's going on, guys? As you guys can tell, we just finished installing the catch can. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward install. Pretty happy with how it went. Used the supplied hardware that came with it. There was hoses and attachments, fittings and stuff like that in the box that I didn't even realize it was under a cardboard covering that is used to cover the packaging from getting all beat up transit. So I installed using the hoses. There was no need to use the fittings like the hose clamps because it's not really going to come apart. So everything is put on well, put on the bolt, put a little bit of thread sealing on the fittings, and everything pretty much went straightforward. It's a pretty good idea to use a catch can. If any of you guys have an SRT8 or any type of vehicle, definitely consider using a catch can. The catch can helps to catch any oil from going into the intake manifold, robbing power. It doesn't even operate right. The motor gets choked up from all that oil that's getting dumped in there. So definitely a good install. I'm pretty happy with how it went. So with that being said, guys, I'll definitely be catching you guys in the next video.